leave then after 15th?
Because the Richard Johnson, that's the opening of the Battle of Nashville. Gunboats are flying, and then that Federal dismounted cavalry is opening up this.
They pushed them out.
Pushed them out. But they slowed them down. 1,200 slowed, and other commands with Richard Johnson slowed them down a long time. They did their job.
By moving their artillery around. Wasn't that a big factor too?
Yes, but this artillery, I don't know if these were engaged on that 15th. This artillery here, as much as Ector's was in the 303rd Tennessee Cav, I'm sure they were engaged some. It's not noted what they did as far as the Confederate artillery, but they did their job real well here from the 3rd to the 15th. The 3rd to the 15th did real well here.
Why would people in the United Kingdom care so much about?
They have a wonderful Civil War roundtable.
Is it descendants or just interested?
They're just interested. Peter Lockwood, I think is his name. I met him. Funny in a way, because back in the middle 90s, it was July 3rd, and I forgot he was from England. And I said, well, happy 4th of July, Peter. He said, well, we don't really care much about that. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Whoops. But they have a great Civil War roundtable.
Could it be because the Congressional Medal of Honor winner was English?
Maybe. He never told me that. I've never heard that, but it didn't hurt. But they just have a great interest in the Civil War.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes Europe, they have a bigger interest than a lot of Americans do.
Oh, yeah.
Australia has a Civil War round.
They sure do. Australia. They just have a huge interest in it. And Hawaii, which is America, but Hawaii has a Civil War roundtable. I don't think too many engagements in Hawaii.
Australia had panned Steve Woodward before over there and kicked him around. They still feel panned his way.
Right, well, Schofield Barracks is in Hawaii. Yes, named for John McCullough from Schofield, and I've been pretty tough on the last 2 days now. Whatever. And, but yeah, I don't think there's one in Ireland, but a great interest in the war in Ireland. Reenacting units are out of Ireland.
They do a lot of reenacting in Europe.
They sure do.
The flag for the 63rd New York is in Dublin.
I thought it was 69th.
Okay, 69th.
Okay, 69th. Yes, I viewed that flag.
Both of the Irish brigade.
John F. Kennedy gave that to Ireland, and I viewed that flag. It's in Dublin. Sure have. I had a chance to see that flag. Sure did. It's but I just wanted to take you here, like I said. My job is one, it's going to be tough interpreting Nashville because it's so big and wide and cars and everything, but I want to show you places you've never been
The
before.
west end of the battle.
The far western area.
And Nashville is where?
That way. Or if you're looking at some, we're right out here. Right here in Nashville that way. Yeah.
Of course, that one.
Yeah.
So did they move up Davidson Road that way at all to cut off?
Well, Charlotte, they're coming up Charlotte, Richard Johnson's, and then I think Ector's is going to that Davidson Road area through Westmead to connect with that Hillsborough Road, Ector's. And they ran right by the Redoubts. They wanted them to help them with the Redoubts. They said, no, there's too many. And about 9, a large brigade hadn't been engaged in Franklin. But they did well here, but then just took off.
Yeah, I lived in Westmead for
Yep.
about 20 years.
They found a lot of artifacts out here too in the past.
Around Davidson Road,
Right,
probably not
exactly.
too much farther.
Not too much
west.
farther around that Davidson Road, Charlotte area and stuff. Yeah.
You're using the term tin clads. Is that different from gun clads?
Yes, thinner, and smaller, and they have some guns on them, but it's like those ironclads, they go big guns and whatever. I just studied Navy a ton. It didn't interest me like the other infantry and artillery and whatever, but yeah, so there, and I think there's a photograph of one right over here too. I believe there's a tin clad on it. If not, I'm sorry. The Youngster's not a tin clad, Fairplay's not a tin clad, but anyway.
You know what the other problem was? It was told that they had to cream salt. I said, where's Debbie? I thought, well, it's taking a long time. And here you come.
Well, if you guys scoot out early, just make sure you come by. But he's not looking for you on the bus. Okay. I don't know if they'll tell you or...
Pass is, we drove under to get here. That's where that the fight on the 15th started. Fighting on the 15th started. 1,200 Confederates are holding on about 5,000–6,000 Federals, and they did well, and then moved off to the east toward that Hillsborough Road. We'll be at later, and the 5 redoubts. There's one that we will go to, Redoubt No. 1. we'll stop at and take a left here. Let's get back on 40 East toward Nashville.
What's the next stop, huh?
Good question. I know where we're going. I'm trying to do this where we don't have to go back and forth, backtrack. I think the next stop is going to be the Peace Monument. The Peace Monument will be close to Redoubt No. 1, and then we're going to go to Fort Negley. I think that's how we're going to do it.
In the great scheme of things.
So to the west, by the way, Hillsborough Road is to the east, and from the Hillsborough Road to the Harding Pike, moving west, these redoubts were set up from the Knowlesville Road to the Hillsborough Road, and then all you had was Rutgers Cavalry Brigade, Ector's Texans, from the Harding Pike all the way to Bell's Bend. So you have about 900 of Ectors. You have about 700 cavalrymen, and the 300 with a 3rd Tennessee Cav. So you have you have about 1,500 men holding off about 10,000 Federals. But that whole sector to the west, from the Harding Pike to the river, that's 7 miles. You only have about 700. Yeah, a total of 1,900 men to guard a stretch of about 7 miles, and a solid 4-mile stretch, and going to the hill. That's their Hood had a great plan as far as defensive. He didn't have the men to man it. The redoubts were set up well. Not enough people to man it. You remember H.P. Stewart's Corps went in with 8,000 at Franklin. They lost about 2,300, so they had a little less than 6,000 men, and they're going to go against Wood's Corps. That's 30,000, along with A.J. Smith's Corps, and along with that Wilson's Cav. 30,000 are going up against about 6,000. And so, what kind of odds are that on the 15th? Not good. But on the first day of the Battle of Nashville, you have Stewart's Corps to the west, and then Rutgers Brigade and whatever to this river. Lee's Corps in the middle, and then of course Cheatham's Corps to the east. Cheatham's Corps was shot to hell and back. Obviously, Claiborne's not there. And Lee's Corps was lightly engaged except for Johnson's division. And you know what happened to Stewart's Corps? Stewart and Cheatham's. A nice plan, but not enough people to man it. We're headed toward Nashville. We're on 40 East, modern interstate. They call it Hillsborough Road when we get down in the Green Hills. And it's something else, but I'll show you where we're going to get off. There's one monument into the Battle of Nashville. Have you seen that monument, Clay? It's spectacular, isn't it? It's the Peace Monument dedicated to both sides. I don't want to tell you too much until you get there. Get your cameras ready. There's 2 horses there made out of Austrian cannons from World War I captured. And it's, of course, for blue and gray. And it used to be on the Franklin Road. A tornado knocked the top of it off. Nobody could get to it. That's why they moved it over here. It's right by the, it's about 300 yards from where that Confederate line was. Not even less, 300 yards from where that line was for the first day fighting. Move it to the east of the redoubts. Granny White Pike, that's where that Peace Monument is located. We'll be very close to Redoubt No. 1. We can knock that out next. I want to make sure we don't get lost here, so I'm going to be watching close. A lot of driving, I told you today, a lot of driving. When we get toward the Hillsborough Road, Fort Negley will be less driving, more traffic. Less driving, we'll just see a lot more spots. I hope you enjoyed that, just being out there. I hope that was something new. I know it's new for you, but I hope it was something different that you appreciated. where Woods Corps is attacking. We're going to get slowly in the left lane. A lot of artifacts, my father said, were found to our right because we're below the redoubts, 1 through 5. You start getting in your left lane, I know it's at your leisure, or can keep us alive. They don't let you over it much, do they? Nah.
Like you do in Washington, just cut you off.
And look at this hill. Look at the topography, the terrain. How this is going up toward the 5 redoubts. Okay. We're going to get in the far left lane up here, and then take a left, of course, on to Woodmont. Folks, there's once again, we're on Hillsborough Road. Look at the high ground. We're going to take a left here, and redoubt number 2 would be where all those buildings are to your left in front of you. That's where I remember this open field. You see where that red brick church is right there in front of us? The Methodist church there with the steeple, not the white one, but the red brick one. That would be redoubt number 3. 2 is to your left. Redoubt number 3 is over here to your right. Redoubt number 1 is the one to your far. You've been there, haven't you, Clay? Right over there. Is it Benham, I think, or Bonham will turn on? Sometimes I get confused, but whatever. And then number 4 would be down on Hobbs Lane, and number 5 I'll drive you by later. But they're all developed now. I've been told by relic hunters there's Confederate bodies underneath that asphalt of redoubt number 3. I'm not saying it's true, but that's what they tell me, which are pretty reliable. Okay, start slowing down some, Rick. And we're going to not taking that. We're going to take a left. Not have the next one. We're going to take a left. I think it's bottom. Man, that's where we're going to take a left, right? Look at the high ground. Redoubt number 2 will be to our right, where I noted redoubt number 1 through the Battle of Nashville Preservation Society, oh Lord, what is that lawyer's name right now? I'm going belly up. But nonetheless, they worked really hard to save this, and I cannot get you into redoubt number 4 with a bus. There's no way. Ed Barr's tried to do it, and they chastised him too, by the way. So it won't happen, but this is the one we will see. I hate it. They do not, and Franklin, they stop for you. They'll slow down for you, generally, most of the time. Nashville, don't bet on it at all. You're on your own. Besides Civil War tours, I rarely use profanity, but when I'm driving in Nashville, it comes out of my mouth like a whirl of gusts of woodpeckers in a hailstorm. Now, coming up over this rise, we're going to come up over the rise. Traffic's going this way. This is where we're going to stop. So, where we're going to stop. Now, the cars will be coming behind us. Now, I want to think about safety first and foremost. Do you think that we should go down and turn around and then face this way because traffic will be coming behind us?
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to turn before, but still, it's too much traffic. But that's redoubt number 1 to your left, right there. We're going to turn around where we'll be facing that way where the cars be coming behind us. A friend of mine, a Vietnam veteran, lived in that house right there. John Hudson taught me so much. He's passed away now. He said he heard a lot of weird things in that house. A lot of weird